We have reporters all across Orlando right now working to bring you the very latest information. Dave McDaniel, Nashara Meredith, and Justin Shecker will join us in a moment live. But we begin with WESH 2's Stuart Moore. He's actually anchoring our live coverage from downtown Orlando. And so, Stuart, you have more on what it's feeling like there right now.
Nancy and Jesse, I am at the corner of Orange and Central, which is where this shooting took place. And as you guys both know, because you're familiar with downtown, it's one of the heart of downtown's nightlife when it comes to New Year's Eve, Halloween, major events where people come out here to party. People were having just a good time last night, and that mood from that shooting still lingers here right now. A lot of people still talking about it, saying what they saw, what they heard about what happened, and having friends and family members who may have been out here celebrating Halloween as well. So people, it's on the top of their minds. They're still worried about what could happen next, but they want something like this to never obviously happen again. We want to start now with WESH 2's Dave McDaniel. And Dave, you were telling us just a little bit ago, the 17-year-old had only been out here a few minutes before the shooting started.
Yeah, police basically said that they tracked him from when he got out of his car to when this incident happened. You know, it was Halloween night in downtown Orlando. The area was jam-packed, according to the Orlando Police Department, saying there were tens of thousands of people downtown, 100 cops as well to keep the peace. But then there was this teenager, according to police, who lashed out violently. Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now! Body-worn cameras capture the moment 17-year-old Jalen Dwayne Edgar is taken down. This is video from a downtown security camera. The teen tackled after the second shooting scene, 2 blocks from the first. At Central and Orange, a camera captures Edgar walking past someone, turning, and shooting that person point blank.
So he knew what he was going to do, what he thought in his mind was going to do. It's unfortunate. Some people see somebody they don't like, somebody that, you know, they have some sort of beef with, and they take whatever action they're going to take.
This video from Orlando Police as Jalen Edgar has walked to a waiting patrol car. The chief saying it did not appear the 17-year-old went into any businesses before firing shots downtown.
No, we pretty much watched him come from where he parked his car and went into, and we didn't see him going to any clubs. He pretty much walked into downtown, walked up the street, and did what he did. 8
people shot, 2 dead. The other 6 appear to have non-life-threatening injuries. Edgar now facing 2 counts of first-degree murder and 6 counts of attempted murder. State Attorney Andrew Bain hinted at how his office may move forward.
Aggravating factors that would lead us to charge him as an adult, but we need to get to the bottom of the investigation first.
The chief praised his officers for how they responded to the active shooter call.
None of the officers, went the other way. They didn't go with the crowd. Most of them, got a little bit of cover between them. They started scanning, seeing what was going on, and then they moved. They took action to keep everybody else safe.
And actually, there was a 9th person who was injured, even though she was not shot. According to police, she was actually trampled as she was trying to get away from the shooting scene. It is not clear how badly she was hurt. Stuart?
All right, Dave, thank you. And that shooting survivors have different types of injuries. Let's list you through them. An 18-year-old man and 24-year-old woman were both shot in the leg. A 26-year-old man shot in the foot. A 39-year-old shot in her hand. A 20-year-old was grazed by a bullet on his head. You're going to hear from him later. And a 19-year-old woman was shot in the upper back. That bullet, police say, still lodged in her cheek. WESH 2's Michelle Meredith is live for us at Orlando Regional Medical Center, where doctors provided an update within the last hour. Michelle, what did you learn?
Well, we talked to Anthony Berry, and he said that he went downtown, friends invited him, they were having a good time, and then a man started getting aggressive, started pushing them. He said he thought he saw the man pull out a gun, he ducked, he heard shots, then he felt some heat on his head, and he saw a flash. Here's what he had to say.
What I did see was, pulled it out, pow! Before the pow, I already ducked, crouched. So I crouched, still facing towards him, like I'm facing towards the cameras. Down here, I'm like, okay, boom, feel it. You feel it instantly, guys. It's instant. It's not like I was like, oh, no, it's totally different. I felt the blood, and then that's when I covered the wound. The shooter, I didn't see him. Like, pow, after that white flash, when I could see everything after that, it was gone. To my knowledge, I did hear a couple more gunshots right after, but that's when the crowd started running the opposite way. I followed the crowd and got low.
Now here's what's interesting. Anthony is studying to be an EMT, so he knew what to do. You heard him say he put his hand up here to stop the bleeding. The bullet just skimmed his head, and His surgeon said if this bullet had moved either way, this way, this would have been a completely different story. Live in Orange County, Michelle Meredith, WESH 2 News.
And what a story he's got to tell. Michelle, thank you. This is, of course, just the latest scare that has taken place in the past several years in the downtown region. In 2021, 4 people, including a 16-year-old, were shot and wounded. In August 2022, 7 people were shot at 2 in the morning after a fight broke out. And 1 year later, a gunman shot and wounded 2 Orlando police officers. The suspect will be shot and killed hours later in a gunfight with the SWAT team. WESH News' Justin Shecker continues our team coverage now. He is live for us at Orlando Police Headquarters. And Justin, the mayor says he's taking immediate action.
That's right, Stuart. Good afternoon to you. This afternoon, Mayor Buddy Dyer announced a state of emergency in the downtown Orlando entertainment area. Starting tonight for the next 7 days, there'll be no alcohol sales after midnight, and the city is also implementing a curfew from 1 until 5 in the morning.
The safety of our city is our #1 priority, and we will not tolerate crime in our city, and will leverage every single tool that we have available to keep our city safe.
The chaotic scene overnight in downtown Orlando during Halloween celebrations is similar to what unfolded in the early morning hours of July 31st, 2022. 7 people were injured during a shooting at Orange Avenue and Wall Street Plaza. After that shooting, Mayor Buddy Dyer announced the city would expand its controlled entry program like it has during holidays and major events. The city rolled out 6 entry checkpoints around Orange Avenue, increased the number of officers and canines, and police started taking away guns from people without a concealed carry permit. This morning, Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith explained the department stopped conducting weapons screenings after the state's permitless carry law went into effect last year. The mayor is also taking aim at that state law.
We want a downtown that is fun and vibrant, but we have experienced lately that brazen criminals are willing to come downtown and shoot and kill innocent victims right in front of our police officers. And it's unfortunate that the changes in the state concealed weapons laws have made it even easier for people to carry guns and bring guns downtown.
And according to Chief Eric Smith, OPD officers have seized more than 300 guns in the past year. The chief also says the 2 fatalities from the overnight mass shooting are the 18th and 19th homicides this year compared to 34 at this time last year. Stuart, back to you.
All right, Justin, thank you. And of course, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings, a former sheriff in this county, also releasing a statement. It reads in part, quote, "We need more progress in taking guns out of the hands of those who should not have them, including teenagers." Orange County allocated additional funding this year to support youth-related programs that offer teens positive alternatives to the type of activities that lead to juvenile delinquency and violence. It will take all of us working together to come up with solutions, end quote. And of course, guys, this area is a beacon for young people across Central Florida to come out, have a good time, and for the most part, it's always been that way. But it's moments like this that can violate that trust and make people uneasy about returning again. Jesse and Nancy, back to you.